Welcome back to the Friends podcast. I'm your host, Luna Leon, and our show today is about the shocking downfall of a music mogul. Sean Diddy Combs has just been sentenced to 4 years in federal prison, and the entertainment world is reeling from this seismic shift in celebrity accountability. So Sean Diddy Combs just got sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison for Mann Act violations. And honestly, I don't even know where to start with this whole mess. We've all been watching this unfold for months, and it's giving me the same energy as when you're doom scrolling Twitter at 2 a.m. and you just keep finding worse and worse takes. The Mann Act thing. For anyone who's like me and had to Google what that means, it's basically transporting people across state lines for inappropriate activities. Combs was found guilty on 2 counts, but acquitted of the really serious stuff like racketeering, which is wild because prosecutors were pushing for 11 years, but he only got 4 and some change. What's really getting to me is this whole accountability moment we're having in entertainment. U.S. Attorney Arun Subramanian said, Mr. Combs' status and wealth do not exempt him from accountability. And finally? It's giving very much the chickens have come home to roost energy. We've been in this era since Me Too where people actually face consequences, and it's so overdue it's not even funny. But here's where it gets messy in that way that makes my brain go brrr. Right before sentencing, Combs sent this 4-page letter to the judge begging for mercy. And I'm conflicted because part of me is okay, at least he's taking responsibility. He wrote, I take full responsibility for my past wrongs, and prison will change you or break you. I choose to live. More after our break.
My name is Tom Sachs. I'm an artist in New York City. For nearly 2 decades, I have been collaborating with Nike.
Nike running is for runners. Nike basketball is for basketball. Nike craft is for everyone else.
That second quote hit different. It's giving very much rock bottom realization vibes, which honestly I can relate to in my own completely non-criminal way. You know when you're having that 3 a.m. moment where you're like, I need to fundamentally change who I am as a person? Except his rock bottom involves federal prison and mine involves crying over a TikTok of someone making perfect pasta. He also said, I no longer care about the money or the fame. There is nothing more important to me than my family. Which is the kind of thing people say when they're trying to humanize themselves to a judge. And I get it. He's got 7 kids and he's caring for his elderly mom. That's genuinely heavy stuff that would make anyone desperate to stay out of prison. But prosecutors were not having it. They called his remorse tour insufficient given what they termed decades of unchecked behavior. Which brings us to this really uncomfortable space where someone can sound genuinely remorseful while also having caused serious harm over years. It's like when someone gives you a really sincere apology, but you're still processing the damage they did, you know? The legal drama around this has been intense. His defense team tried everything. They requested only 14 months, argued that definitions were too broad, even filed motions to overturn the conviction. Judge Subramanian shut all of that down, saying they failed to prove jury bias. What's really sticking with me is how this case represents this shift in how we handle celebrity accountability. For so long, fame and money were like this invisible shield. Remember when celebrities could do anything and the worst consequence was bad tabloid coverage? Now we're in this era where people are going to prison, and it feels like we're finally catching up to where we should have been all along. This sentencing feels like a cultural moment where we're saying celebrity status doesn't exempt you from basic human decency and legal consequences. Which should be obvious, but here we are having to spell it out with prison sentences. Thank you for listening to Friends with Luna Leon. If you are enjoying our podcast, please show us your support by tapping the follow button and rating it 5 stars. That's a wrap.
Grab News. Thomas.